Good evening and thank you for joining us for KREM News at 5 tonight. I'm Mark Hanrahan.
And I'm Whitney Ward. We begin tonight with breaking news. Right now we are tracking two separate wildfires burning only a couple dozen miles apart.
One fire is burning near Ritzville with another burning by the town of Tyler, which is near Cheney. That fire is burning near Cheney, has prompted level 3 go now evacuations for the entire town of Tyler. Meanwhile, several fires burning near Ritzville caused I-90 to close in both directions for about a half hour this afternoon. But as of right now, we have learned the freeway has reopened.
We do have KREM 2 crews in both Ritzville and Tyler bringing us complete team coverage tonight. We want to begin with Janelle Finch, who is live in Tyler as residents there are beginning to evacuate. So Janelle, what can you tell us at this hour?
Mark and Whitney, I'm just standing actually at the fish trap exit, just a little bit of ways away from the city of Tyler where we were earlier, because here you can get better visuals of what we're actually tracking right now, which is a 520-acre wildfire. You can still see several hotspots burning on the side of the highway right now, right off I-90. The Washington Department of Natural Resources tell me that the advancement of this fire has stopped despite the wind, but it already has, like I said, burned through 520 acres, and people should still continue to be on alert as hotspots continue to burn. Traffic on I-90 is moving, as you can see, but just an hour ago, traffic was actually at a standstill, requiring people to be diverted off of I-90 into the city of Tyler. So take a look at your screen. We're going to show you video of those cars being diverted into the city of Tyler. In addition, like you mentioned, the city of Tyler was also evacuated under level 3 evacuations, which means get out now. So that city was also evacuated. We were able to speak to one person who actually said that they woke up to their phone alerting them that a wildfire was burning nearby and they needed to go now.
And I woke up to my phone screaming at me. I come outside to come check on what's going on. And the police pulled up instantly, said I need to get out of here for an evacuation. My mother called me, said, hey, is everything going all right? My mother's on the way to come check on you. I'm like, oh, I just got evacuated. Now I guess I'll head up towards your guys' place because I don't know what else to do.
So the Department of DNR told us that the evacuations in Tyler, like said, are at level 3, and they're going to remain at level 3 despite the fire no longer advancing. He did say that those evacuations are expected to downgrade by this evening, but he did want to say that people should not go back until they receive official notice from officials that it is downgraded to a level 2, which means get ready. We are continuing to monitor this wildfire as hotspots continue to burn right behind me, but until we come back to you with more information, live in Fish Trap, Janelle Finch, KREM 2 News.
All right, Janelle, thank you very much. KREM 2's Amanda Rowley continues our team coverage tonight. She is joining us live from Ritzville, where another fire actually shut down I-90 for a short time today. And Amanda, what can you tell us about the fire there now?
Yeah, Mark, what I can tell you is this is a much different Ritzville than what we've been seeing this past hour on all social media platforms. Now, we do know that there have been fires posted all around this area, according to the Adams County Sheriff's Office. Right now, we're outside the Adams County Courthouse, where we saw a photo of a huge smoke plume just on the field on the backside of the courthouse. It has gone down quite a bit. I did see some crews mopping up. The conditions here are incredibly windy. If you can see just how quickly those flags are moving around, it is pretty gusty in this area. Now, we know that WashDOT did tweet out there is a brush fire along I-90 in the Ritzville area. Take a look at some of the photos that were sent in of just what that brush fire looked at. That fast moving fire prompted WashDOT to close I-90 in both directions for about 2 miles near Ritzville. On our way in with my photographer Eric, we had pretty good visibility. I know that was a concern on the road for drivers. On the way into Ritzville, it has cleared up quite a bit. You can really heavily smell the smoke out here. We do know while I-90 has pretty much opened up, I didn't see any closures at this point. It's been reopened to traffic. There hasn't been any sort of rerouting of traffic in that sense. We do know that there has been a couple different fire location areas tweeted out by the Adams County Sheriff's Office. One was a structure fire on the 700 block of North DeWald, and again on the area of I-90 on westbound milepost 210 and eastbound milepost to 20. But again, as we drove into Ritzville this afternoon, just in the last hour, all lanes appear to be clear. Visibility is getting better. Again, we do have crews behind me in this field mopping up what remains of that fire in the area. We'll try to get a safe but closer look and keep you updated. Reporting from Ritzville, Amanda Rowley, KREM 2 News.
All right, Amanda, thank you very much. So let's turn our attention to weather because parts of the region are under that red flag warning because of those strong winds, only increasing our wildfire danger.
Let's get straight to Chief Meteorologist Jeremy Legoo. Jeremy, we saw in Amanda's live shot just how strong the winds were in that area. Certainly not a good recipe if we're hoping not to have wildfires.
Not at all. Where Amanda was standing, 28 miles per hour is where those winds are currently gusting to. But let's go ahead and zoom on into the fire where Janelle was and talk winds there. Winds locally there, 15 miles per hour. You go up in elevation, winds get much stronger. The arrows are winds on the surface. The little lines scooting across the screen, those are winds about a kilometer up, a little over a half mile, we'll say. Winds near the Spokane Airport, 35 miles per hour, and that is what's blowing a lot of that smoke toward us. You might be smelling it. Air quality sits at moderate or 87 in terms of AQI, and unfortunately, it's likely going to stay around there with those wildfires continuing to burn. The good news is that we are seeing some containment on some of those. The bad news is the wind gusts remain strong through at least sunset. In addition to that, hours after sunset, we are still going to see those atmospheric conditions for rapid fire growth and aggressive wildfires. For that reason, red flag warnings remain in place through 11 p.m. as winds will continue to gust and the atmosphere was continuing to be primed for some of that wildfire spread. Now, when it comes to those red flag warnings, predominantly grassland areas. We'll keep a close eye on those as our cold front exits the region. All of this wind comes thanks to that cold front. This is a classic wind maker for us here in the inland Northwest. Every single wind event you can think of here in Spokane happened with a weather pattern like this. This version is a dry cold front with little cloud cover and a very dry atmosphere. As it moves out, winds calm. Winds will be much calmer tomorrow, and we'll see temperatures top out in the mid-80s. Near 90 on Wednesday, and back to that hot, dry weather pattern by the end of the week, which means wildfire danger sticks around despite that lack of wind.
All right, Jeremy, thank you very much. We will continue to cover those wildfires throughout our broadcast and online. In the meantime, we will move on. We're also tracking a developing story tonight. We are learning more about a deadly crash in Kansas that killed 3 members of a small church right here in Spokane. All 3 women who died were from the same family.
KREM 2's Shannon Mowdy caught up with a family friend who is now raising money to support the major medical expenses still facing the Lighthouse Church. Shannon?
That crash happened Friday when a van loaded with members of Spokane's Lighthouse Pentecostal Church rolled near the Kansas-Colorado border. We have learned, of course, 3 women from the same family were killed and several others, including children, were hurt. Kansas Highway Patrol says 3 women were killed when a church van rolled on Highway 40 Friday. A crash report says Darlene Manene was driving and overcorrected after going off the road. The van was carrying a group from Spokane's Lighthouse Church on their way to Tulsa, Oklahoma for a Bible quiz competition. The driver and pastor's wife, Darlene, was killed. Their unborn child also didn't survive. Pastor Manene's mother-in-law and sister were also killed. Pastor Matthias is still in a Denver ICU, says family friend and fellow pastor James Parker.
3 young men in the hospital along with Pastor Manene that we are praying for and praying for a speedy recovery. They're all doing much better and progressing, but still have a long ways to go. So they're still looking at a lengthy recovery process for at least 4 individuals.
There were 10 kids in the van. Parker says the children who aren't in the hospital are expected to come home Monday. Parker grew up with the Manenes in LeGrand.
Left their homes and their jobs and their families here in LeGrand and moved to Spokane to start a church.
Parker says Spokane's Lighthouse was a beacon for the city's Marshallese population, as the Manenes were also from the Marshall Islands. Now their own church community is rallying around them, praying for healing.
They love people. They're a great family, a giving family, and they just, you can't find better people than them.
Parker's fundraiser has now raised more than $63,000. He tells me that money will be used for the ongoing medical expenses, as well as to bring the bodies of those 3 women home to Spokane and for their funerals. In Spokane, Shannon Mowdy, KREM 2 News.
Shannon, thank you very much.